let's move on now to our Europa League final preview. So it's Chelsea versus Arsenal at Baku Olympic Stadium. Takes place Wednesday. So Tayo, who is, as an Arsenal fan, who do you think's coming out on top, and what's your scoreline?
I'm saying it's finishing 2-1 in extra time. And
for who?
that's I don't know. I have the Arsenal bias, and then if Unai Emery was able to win this, like, I don't know, Arsenal fan TV would go off. But just with the way Arsenal has played this year, you've seen moments of them, and they look like a team that could legitimately contend at one point, and then they lose to like 5 teams in a row who are like 10th place, bottom half of the table, and it's just like the lack of consistency is really concerning, and especially the way they ended the season, not on a high note. I mean, they got the win in the last week, but the last, I don't know, 6 weeks or so, just opportunities to pass Tottenham, just not taking them. So this is a big game for Arsenal, and I don't know if they'll step up.
In order for, if they were to say, let's say they do win, what do you think are some keys to the game for them? What players need to step up?
Yeah, I think Leno needs to have a big game.
Yeah, I feel a lot of Arsenal fans have been raving about Leno, but I've seen a lot of times this year where he's made
positional
mistakes, coming out too far, not guarding his front post.
Do you think the back four in front of him puts a lot of pressure on him to really?
But I feel like there's a lot of times I've seen him come out wildly,
there's a big trust issue. The communication just doesn't seem to be there between the two center backs.
Socrates has started playing better, but like if we have
Mustafi's shocking.
Yeah, so Leno's gonna need to play big just to make up for what his back four lacks. And up front we need Aubameyang. I don't know who Emery's going with Aubameyang and Lacazette and whoever else, but I don't know. He needs whoever he starts up top to play well.
And how does, one second, let me ask him one more question. How does this result affect the way you judge Emery's season?
I don't know. It's already been a sort of roller coaster season. They've had times where they looked good, but I don't know. They had times looked good under Wenger, and it looks like similarly good. And then there's also been times where it's been shaky. He went out, he signed some guys. I don't think you can judge him too harshly off his first season. He needs more time with the guys to make sure that they understand what he wants them to do, and maybe go out and get some more people. Probably won't happen, but. Yeah, I don't know. I think if they win, it would be great. And if they lose, it would be pretty disappointing, but we can give it another shot next year.
Classic. Spoken like a classic Arsenal fan.
Just run Europa back. I mean, if we win also, though, then we're in Champions League, which is big.
Wait, so I heard this from Sam. I'm not sure if it's true. If City end up getting the transfer ban and can't play in the Champions League this season, even if you guys lose to Chelsea, you guys would still go.
Because Chelsea was 4th or 3rd? Chelsea was 3rd, so yeah.
You guys would go to the Champions League, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see too.
So your final prediction is 2-1 to.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. Okay.
Chelsea's also a little inconsistent.
Well, they have injuries.
And they have
they lost Ruben.
Sarri's halfway out the door.
Yeah.
All right, Noah, give me your prediction.
I actually have 0-0 going into the final time, but I mean, I think Chelsea have too many missing pieces for this game too. One thing going for them is that this is going to be Hazard's last game for him, so he's going to want to go out with a bang with them and win a trophy with them. So I mean, he's going to want to send off, but at the same time, they're missing Loftus-Cheek, they're missing
Hudson-Odoi.
Hudson-Odoi. That. So I mean, they're missing some key players, but and Lacazette and Aubameyang have just looked really, really dangerous recently too.
You get them any sort of link up, like someone in the midfield to give them
just worried about that Arsenal back line is the thing. Even if it is Giroud and Higuain playing up top against them, I still feel like they can still bang out a couple. So, but I think it's going to be a pretty even contest. I think the two are pretty much neck and neck.
Yeah.
As they were in the Prem this season.
So do you have it going to penalties or no?
I don't know what to think of this game. I really don't know what to think. They're both so inconsistent that it just doesn't give me any idea of how this is going to turn out. So I'm kind of favoring Arsenal in this instance, but just because of everything happening, the whole Chelsea mess, there always seems to be drama over there. But so I mean, I'm going to pick Arsenal. I don't know what to pick with the scoreline. Maybe 1-0 final time, but or even going into extra time. That's a possibility, but I have Arsenal winning this one.
So you said Hazard's your game changer.
100%. He's the best player on the pitch. So.
Yeah. All right. I have 2-1 Chelsea. The reason why I have so many goals compared to you guys, I'd say.
Said 2-1.
You said 2-1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. But the reason I have 2-1 Chelsea is because Arsenal's backline this year, the lack of consistency has been absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
They've played with how many different center backs this year? 5, maybe?
Something like that.
And they still have not found any sort of match that they can rely in.
Yeah, Holding and Mustafi were doing all right, and then Mustafi was awful, and then Holding got injured.
Yeah.
And then Sokratis recently has played pretty well, and he's definitely been the rock back there.
But Mustafi has been terrible.
You need them both.
Yeah. So that's where I see Hazard. He's also my game changer in this match. I see him kind of taking over. He's been Chelsea this season, really. Yeah. He's 16 goals, 15 assists in the Premier League. He's also he's a playmaker as well as a goal scorer. And I think he's good enough to off dribble penetration to open up the Arsenal back line, slot a ball through to sounds funny, Higuain. but I feel like he's good enough to break down the Arsenal back line and get a goal. And I think Chelsea, I really do like the link-up play between Lacazette and Aubameyang, but I feel like Chelsea's defense is a little more solid. You have Conte, which is, although he's been playing in a more attacking role this season, having him his work rate defensively helps to break down plays. And also, Arsenal's back line, right in front of it, they have Xhaka, which doesn't help your case.
Well, I was kind of interested to see how Arsenal is going to line up in the midfield too. If Ozil's going to start, if Xhaka's going to start, I mean, those are two quality options. Actually.
So Conte is actually out.
They said they're not officially ruling him out, but I think he's out.
Yeah, he missed his final training.
Yeah.
So I still think it's going to be 2-1, but that is a big loss because Conte runs the midfield. Yeah. He would be the most dominant midfielder in that match by far.
The thing with Chelsea is they're not short on midfielders though. They've got Kovacic. They've got
options for sure.
Yeah.
So, but back to the Ozil thing. Do you guys think he starts?
Ozil?
Yeah.
I think he should.
He should. He's quality. He has the kind of quality.
I mean, he's the best player on the team, but.
And I mean,
there are times where he just goes missing is the thing, and you cannot risk that in the final. But at the same time, you need to provide.
Yeah. I mean, how
with that kind of.
How service. Else are they going to get that service from Xhaka? Yeah.
From Ramsey's played well this year. I hate to say Ramsey's like your 10, but he's played well.
I don't know, but for me, it's just like the back line and just the defensively, Arsenal's so weak because Xhaka in front of their back line is just not good enough. And with a player like Hazard,
you can pick out weak links in both of the teams, though, is what I'm saying. So it's pretty even.
You still pick 0-0?
I'm not so sure anymore, but I mean,
where is Chelsea's real weak link though? Where do they have a link that's as weak as Arsenal's back line?
I don't think. Okay. Yeah, not as drastic as just when you think of Arsenal, you pick out the center backs. They need new center backs. They need this and that. But if you look at Chelsea, they have a quality position player in each front line. So I mean, in the front line you have Hazard, but what do you have on the two other sides? You have Higuain and you have who's going to start
Pedro
instead of Pedro. I mean,
Willian.
Well then, so they have decent options, but have they showed out this season? So you think of the names and you're like, okay, they should be fine, but they're not performing this season.
Yeah, with their names, you would think they would be up there with the Liverpools and the cities making the title run. But I mean, they still finished third, but that was more in part to Arsenal, United, and Tottenham not playing well the last 10 weeks or so.
But unlike Arsenal, I think the problem with Chelsea is more so in the locker room, because with Arsenal, I don't see any problems with the players arguing with each other, not trusting.
That whole Kepa situation too.
You've seen what Gary Cahill said about Sarri. That he said that Sarri had no respect for all these people who have already won trophies with the team. So I mean, there's some disrespect between the players and manager too. So,
for Arsenal, they have their own thing with Emery and Ozil, but that's pretty much it. That's one of the only problems.
Yeah.
So.
How does Sarri being halfway out the door, because we're going to talk about this in a second, that he is nearly at the door and rumored to go to Juventus. How does that affect Chelsea in the final? Do you think that affects?
I don't think it affects anything really. Like, I mean,
do you think the players will just go out there and
they want to win a trophy? They don't care. They don't
yeah.
care about Sarri. Like, you don't have to care about your coach in order to have some drive to win a game.
They want to play Champions League.
So
too.
I mean, they're doing it for the club. Where maybe Sarri is, although his head might not be at Chelsea, like. He's probably going to put out the best 11 players. Like, I don't think it's really up to Sarri to lose this game. So,
I think an interesting aspect is, though, that this game is a lot more important to Arsenal than Chelsea.
I agree.
Because Chelsea have already secured that Champions League spot, whereas Arsenal is still looking to.
But the thing you can't underestimate is that they don't like each other. So, I mean, they don't want Arsenal to win a trophy, and they will also want a trophy.
Yeah, they're not just going to let them walk over them, but like in the Liverpool needing to win a trophy, there's more pressure on Arsenal in this game.
Yeah.